Hello and welcome to Spirit Touched. We've been talking about touching, so let's just talk about the one who is touchable. We talked about touching and what can happen when Jesus touches us. Now, let's think about when we touch him. In John 20:24 through 29, Thomas had to touch him to believe he was really risen and alive. Once Thomas touched him, all doubt flew right out of his head. Now, take a close look at the second part of verse 29. Verse 31 tells us why the Gospels were written. Doubts hinder our ability to believe and they block blessings. So get back in touch with God. Why? Because you are closer than you think. Your miracle or blessing is already there. Give up those doubts if you want to get all that He has for you. When we touch Him, our courage, strength, and hope are renewed. Our burdens are lifted from our shoulders. His love and joy begin to flow into and through us. Confusion disappears. We see the impossible become possible because before our very eyes. There are those who think that because Jesus is so holy, they are not good enough to touch him. That's not true. We can touch him. When we do, good things happen. Don't let fear keep you from touching him. You see, when Satan says, when Satan sees us touch Jesus, he knows his sorry goose is cooked and he no longer has any power over us. When you take the hand of Jesus in yours, he starts leading you down his path into the things he has prepared for you. Matthew 13:46. That bleeding woman knew when she touched his garment, she would be healed, and she was. Luke 6:19 says, the whole crowd wanted to touch him. Why? Because they were sick or broken and wanted to be whole again. Go ahead, touch him. When you are tired, you will be refreshed. When you're in a dark place, touch him and let him light your way out. He can and he will respond with whatever it is you need. What will it feel like? I don't know, because it's different for everyone and it's different every time because of where we are in our journey with him. You may do it with a shaking hand, but when you do, the shaking stops. It was the woman's faith that gave her the courage to touch him. Her faith was is what activated his mercy so that his healing balm of grace could heal her. It flipped on her trust switch. Touching him unlocks our closed door so that He can come into our hearts. Here are some steps for that. Accept that He is who He says He is. Believe He can do what He says He can. Do. Then touch Him. His touch seems like magic, but it isn't. It's miraculous. When you touch Him, everything that He is and has and does will be added to your life. Touch Him. Step out of your world into His kingdom. How? Just pray. That's the quickest way. Some will say, "Oh Lord, my hands are too dirty." His answer is, "That's okay, child. Touch me anyway." Cleaning off our dirt is His specialty. He knows where you are, where you have been, and it doesn't matter to Him. He loves you, and you are precious to Him. No matter what anyone says, Jesus is not untouchable. There's new life in His touch. He enjoys touching you. He enjoys it even more when you touch Him. You may send your prayer request to the Touchable One, and He will answer. You can reach Him at heanswerstwo@gmail.com.